Okay, let's go live here. It's James Maduke speaking. Today I want to share with you 13 useless marketing strategies you might be considering if you are building a one-person education business. Now, I'm talking about where we are today, not where we were, and I'm talking about if you want to be a one-person education business that is ready to take advantage of all the changes that are happening with AI. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go over what I think a one-person education business is. I'm going to look at what's traditionally the way that the marketing is set up, and then I'm going to share a way that you might want to consider how you can remove all of those traditional marketing ideas and do something that you love to do and be able to create all sorts of content that is appropriate if you want to build a one-person education business. Now, will some of this work, of course, if you're more than one person? Yeah, sure it will. But my goal is to show you a way to automate it as much as possible using AI and AI tools and something called a personally branded campus. So is this a moving picture too? Like, yeah, stuff is changing all the time and quickly. So what I'm going to show you is as much as we can automate today and then let you know where things are going and how it will change a little bit and why this one is important. So what the heck is a one-person education business? Well, of course, I was flipping around on ChatGPT to get a definition of it, on Perplexity, doing some of that research. And the definition or the idea that kind of gets shared right now is that a one-person education business, I'm reading here, is a self-run enterprise where one individual leverages their expertise, skills, or passion to create and sell educational content, products, or services. And this usually includes things like courses, tutorials, programs, coaching, consulting, mentorship. And it's often creating and sharing resources like ebooks, workbooks, templates, that kind of thing. And it also means managing all the aspects of running that business. So it's not just stuff about creating content, it's doing things like doing the marketing, doing the sales, doing the support, doing the billing, doing all of the outreach, plus creating the content. So, there's a whole bunch of pieces in there that we're supposed to be doing or thinking about doing. And you might be asking, okay, great. Well, where does that actually fit in? What are the things that we're taught to do? So I'm going to go over these quickly. I've covered them in a little bit of detail earlier, but the way that this is set up for most people when they're taught this, and it's available now if you go and watch or take some other courses, it's things like you need traffic, so you either have to build your own traffic organically through a whole bunch of different ways, or you have to buy traffic. There's only two ways to get traffic. You need to do things like do social media posts. So you have to be posting on all the social media platforms on a regular basis. Many times it's doing stuff like cold outreach. So, you buy a LinkedIn Navigator account and you find people who might be good prospects for your particular course or the education you provide. You may be doing stuff where you're, direct messaging people or on on Instagram or Facebook pages or in groups that you may be subscribed to. You may be holding webinars that you do a free webinar that turns into a big sales pitch, but you not always have people there and you've got to get people to the webinar, or you try and do someone else's webinar and hope that you can kind of message or get in with someone who you see in the webinar that might be a good fit for you and then go through that a whole piece in. And it requires that you have to do a whole bunch of work to get this to work. Specifically, you're going to have to do things like have a website. You're going to have some kind of lead capture pages that either get designed by you or someone else, and the pages have to be done, has to be set up that it captures some information from someone, gives someone something. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be done in that particular space. You're going to need sales pages too, because if you're selling a course and you're asking someone to say, hey, send me some money or give me some money and I'll give you access to my content, they're not going to do it just because you put your smiling face there and say that you're going to make someone independently wealthy or make someone the best communicator in the world or get a brand new job or learn how to play an instrument without some details. You're going to have to write the copy for that, put it all together, make sure that it takes a progressive sales conversation and people through that. And then you're going to have, in many cases, what be prescribed to you is that low ticket offer or that introductory mini course or, email newsletter course where you get 1 point or one idea every day for 5 days or 7 days. And after you've done that, then what you might have is an email list because of all the people that have opted in from the traffic that you've miraculously generated, and you've got them on your email list. So that's your core asset, your email list. And after that, you may have a couple people that buy a low ticket offer or an introductory course or some piece of that educational material that you've had time to go and put together. And then you might go, hey, great, do you want to sell or promote for me? Maybe you could have them become an affiliate and promote your product or your education to someone else, and then be able to give them or share a small commission with them if they refer anyone to your business. And then, the real goal from a lot of these educational businesses, the holy grail, it's that, passive recurring income where miraculously people that have bought some of your courses will want to pay you on a monthly basis or a yearly basis just to get more content. So that step or that approach to it requires you to do the marketing, to do the copy, to do the content, to do all of the course creation, to generate the traffic. There's a ton of things there. And I think if you're going to be running a one-person business, you may look at this and go, great, this is something I can do. And there's a lot of AI tools that are going to help you do that, specifically create content and web copy. Those are things now that we can kind of hand off to people, but they still have to be organized and they still have to be managed. And it still requires your time, energy, and effort as a one-person education business. So I'm suggesting that the way forward here in the future for one-person education businesses and small businesses, coaches, consultants, anyone that's got a passion for something, is that you start capturing your digital exhaust. And what I'm talking about are all the things that you're doing on a regular basis, and I want you to capture them for two reasons. One is because you're going to use all of that captured information and post it pretty close to directly to YouTube. And secondly, that big library of video content that you're creating is going to become all your educational material as all of these additional AI agents come into play and do the formatting of our particular content. And you're probably saying, well, what can I share on a regular basis? What is important, or what are the things that people would want to see on YouTube? Or I'm afraid to actually be on YouTube. Well, there's a lot of key things that you can do now to create content on YouTube. And if you're not comfortable, I have to ask why. Why are you not comfortable on YouTube? If you're a coach, a consultant, someone's passionate about something, many people, I would hope, would want to be in front of the camera or learn how to be in front of the camera. And creating YouTube content is something that makes that a lot easier. So what are some examples of how you can capture what you're doing and have that turned into course material for your education business? And I use the word course material, but I'm really talking about having it as a digital asset, something that AI tools and AI agents are going to be able to format or deliver to people if they are part of your campus, is where we're going with this. So here's some examples of what you might want to consider. And I did 10 different examples here. Now, here's, I won't go over all of them, but let's say, for example, I'll just pick one out here. Number 6. Okay, so number 6, I have 10 here. I'll put a list of these below so you can look at them. But this is just a simple example. So let's say that you are a social media manager, and during the day, regular business office hours, the things that you do with your clients or with the people that you help, with your expertise as a social media manager, you do things and capture for YouTube just when you're doing it, not edited, but just capture what it is you're doing, when or how you go and create an engaging social media post. You're doing it anyway, either for yourself or for a client, but if you want to have an education business around social media management, it's like, Okay, record what you're doing and narrate what you're doing while you're doing it. So just explain what you're doing on the screen. Maybe you're doing some kind of a walkthrough of a content calendar that you've built for yourself and or for a customer, if you have their permission to copy it, and then just show and explain what you're doing while you're doing it. Maybe it's the content calendar, maybe it's the scheduling tool on how you do it. Let's say you're using Metricool or some of the other products or services that you use to manage all of that. Maybe you look at programs that you've run, whether they worked or not worked, and discuss why they worked and maybe why they didn't work. What you tried, what happened. Maybe you want to look at the mistakes that you've made, but capture that stuff. Just record it. Just record all of this content on a regular basis. So it's not creating a course, it's capturing what you're already doing. So the thing that happens here is when you have that asset or when you have that information that has been captured, you can create course content automatically using things like AI agents or AI automations. And simple example of this one is if you want to create a course and you have a particular lesson that you want to show, let me just show one that I did here, just an example. I'll open one up. Here's a good easy example of something that I did here personally. So one of the things that happens is in the training sites membership area, I have a 12 lesson orientation and tour. And all of that I did is when I was setting up the campus, my campus, what I did is I recorded what I was doing while I was doing it. So that I ended up with a series of videos that I then put and went into a little bit of a course. Another example of one here is if I go and open up some of the additional tools here, one that I did where I had a series of prompts and I was doing individual videos explaining how to do an AI prompt. So what I did is I just grouped them together, the ones that I had recorded, and put them into a bit of a process or a map. So I didn't create a course by going, oh, I got to create a course. It's a bunch of hard work. What I did is I took the assets that I had captured and organized them into a process or a series of steps that became a course. That's what I'm doing now. What's happening in 2025 from all of the research that I've done and all of the tools that I've seen to start get rolled out already in January, like ChatGPT tasks, we're going to be able to do this in an automated fashion with agents doing it in the background and not me having to manually add something here that I did 7 or 8 different videos. So that's just an example of some of the things that you can capture. Other ones that I came up with are just things to kind of think about during this is, if you're, if for example, you're a chef or a baker and you want to do courses on baking, just capture what you're doing while you're doing it. Maybe as an example, you're a software developer or maybe a small business owner and you want to do a thing about how to run a small business at a retail shop. Record behind the scenes footage of managing inventory or staff. Maybe you're going to do some customer service examples or tips on customer service. Do it while you're in the store. Do it while you're with individuals and people. How you create menu creations, for example, or marketing material for a small business. These are things that you're doing on a regular business, and it doesn't matter whatever your area of expertise is or your passion. I'm hoping that you can come up with some things that you do on a regular basis if you're going to have an education business teaching about your particular passion. So playing around with these ideas, we're capturing all of this stuff. What happens when you do capture your digital exhaust? Where are you going to put it? How are you going to organize it and make it so it's AI friendly and automation friendly? Well, I'm suggesting that what you're going to be doing is focusing on capturing that and putting it up to YouTube. So I'm capturing everything that I can on a regular basis and I'm posting it to YouTube. I do these as live zero edit videos and I have a little bit of a simple system set up for that. I don't put intros at the end. I don't do fancy music and B-rolls. I am just putting my digital assets that I'm collecting, I'm publishing them to YouTube. Sometimes I do 1 video a day, sometimes I do 2 or 3 videos a day. But my focus is not on creating all of those traditional things you were talking about with traffic. My focus is to just post stuff that I can, obviously that it has some value about stuff that I'm doing on a regular basis, and maybe setting it up so that people know why I'm doing it, but I'm posting it to YouTube. So why am I doing that? Well, if you change to a workflow that is YouTube specific and you do and capture this content for YouTube, it removes the need for all of that other marketing things that you may have been considering or using in the past as a traditional digital marketer. So let me just open this one up here just so we can kind of go through it, and I'll show you some of the things that you can actually have set up if you are looking at using a YouTube first marketing strategy. So here's kind of the process that you go through, and I'll open this up so that you can see it. So what you do in the first point is you're just going to create YouTube videos. You're going to capture what you're doing, make a list of the stuff you do in the day. What are the processes that you do? You're going to be teaching about it, so you should be able to capture it and understand what it is that you're doing. So you're going to create YouTube videos based on what you capture. And my suggestion on this is, again, depending on the industry that you're in, but you can do a pretty good job of getting a system in place with a little bit of practice where you can pump out YouTube videos without a lot of edits. And if you need a little help editing, there's AI tools now that can help you with that. Adding a tip and a tail, making sure that that the audio is clear or that there's information that is highlighted on the screen for you. You're going to add those to your video library in your personally branded campus. You're going to organize those into recipes. That's exactly what I did before when I showed you the one that we had when we had this one here, when I was showing you the A prompts for course creators. I just had a series of prompts that I put together in a recipe that they were all related to each other. And if you were going to be using prompts for courses or creating course content prompts, these are the ones that you would be able to use if you were going to be doing that. So organize them in recipes. And then here's the beautiful thing. If you're using a privately branded campus, and I create them in WordPress, you can automate all of those other traditional tasks that you had to look at. So I'm going to show you what happens is if you have them in your own privately branded campus, you have people starting off in YouTube, and the purpose of YouTube, we'll get to that in a little broader detail later in the video or maybe tomorrow's video, but it's to build your audience, to have all of those opportunities to people to find out about you, what you're doing, what your story is, what the information that you have is about, and how you can build trust and rapport with them. You're going to take those videos, you're going to add them as well to your campus. Organize them in recipes if it makes sense. If not, have them in a library that's available to you. You're going to automate the social media posts from that. We're also going to automate an affiliate program from that. See, if someone comes to your private campus or they find out about YouTube and they're wanting to get more detailed about more of your information, they have to register in your campus. They have to give an email address. And what that does is it automatically builds your list. It automatically sets them up as an affiliate as part of your program. It automatically posts to social media to bring them back to your campus. And you can even schedule all of this. So here's an example of some of the tools that I use. And again, these are ones that I teach how to use or set up in the trainingsites.io/join if you want to come and find out about these. So here's a good one that's kind of simple. I have it set up so that I use a little plugin called Slice WP, and I use the free version of this on the WordPress site. And what happens if someone becomes a paid free member of my campus, they just say, look, I want access to all of this and all your recipes and any of the materials that you have that are really, really helpful. I'm going to come and I'm going to give you my email address. What happens in this case is they are automatically added to your affiliate program. So you don't have to go out and find affiliates to go and say, hey, would you promote this? These people are coming to you and you're automatically setting them up as an affiliate. So just by registering to the site, they're automatically an affiliate. The second one is I use another tool, for example, called BitSocial, and I have all the links for you on this as well. But BitSocial, what it automatically does is every time that you add something to your library, it automatically posts to all of the social media platforms, and all of the social media platforms have links back to your campus. So I'll give you an example of how I use this in a particular case. So let's say, for example, on my campus right now, if I go take a look at this, I have my video tutorial library. These are the tutorials or the videos from YouTube. And when I add them to my video library, which was one of the steps, it automatically posts to all of the social media platforms. So I don't have to post, it's automated, it happens in the background. So I got an affiliate network built, I got a posting to social media built and done. And the other thing is that I have a program called Modern Event Calendar because I want to be able to be in a position to interact live with people, to be able to teach them, share information, answer questions. And in a campus, my time is gold. And I would think if you are teaching online and you are building educational content, the real value for us is our personal time and being able to share what it is we're already passionate about. So I use a tool called Modern Events Calendar, and it is a wonderful looking tool that allows you to do all sorts of stuff from registration, selling events, giving access to people, to things, having embedded virtual events all directly in the campus. So I got the events, social media, I've got the affiliate network. I built my list because the other piece I have there is as soon as they're a member, I also have the Fluent CRM tool and Fluent Community plugins on this. And what does it do? It builds my email list. It does automatic email responses and complete automations so that these are automatic series of emails that go out based on things that they do in the campus, like signing up, for example. And it's done automatically. So I don't have to send out a newsletter in this particular case. I don't have to send out follow-up emails for onboarding. I don't even have to send out emails for offers because it's done automatically in the background. So this idea of having some sort of privately branded campus or place where you can really control what you do, and that's create content, because I'm assuming that you love creating content. Let the automations take care of that, the ones that are available today. What the real value of this is that as you build your library, your assets, the AI tools that are available now and the agents that are kind of there but not quite there for all of us, but will be here this year, are going to be able to create the handouts, the quizzes, the PDFs, the summaries for us in the background. It's not about us creating all of that content. And if you're using traditional marketing where you're creating traditional sales pages and follow-up emails and doing things like building the course content and regurgitating stuff that got generated by AI, or trying to put or organize a syllabus together, AI is going to be doing that for you in this kind of system moving forward. And that asset that you have is your content and your time. And the real reason for this that I think is important for us in all of this space with the AI space is this right here. If you have a personally branded campus, one that is unique to you, it is a place with your content, your audience, all in one place with your voice. Even though it started off at YouTube, that's just the way to do the marketing. Focus on YouTube for marketing and trust and rapport building. The place and the thing that makes you unique is your campus. And that is all about you. It allows you to personalize the interactions that you have with people, and it shows authenticity about your authority and your expertise in this particular space. You've got a library of stuff. It's not just sending out an email or trying to get someone to a lead page. They already know, like, and trust you because you've been sharing stuff with them. You've been educating them in all of these things that you're doing on a regular basis so that they know, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. The other thing is that if they're in your membership, your campus, it's easier for you to have a relationship with people that is one of interaction and engagement. And doing things like that is far easier on your own campus as opposed to going to someone's Facebook group, or even if you have your own Facebook group that's separated from everything else that you're doing. And if you can leverage what you've already created by automating some of the tasks we talk about, at the end of that day, with your assets, we're going to be able to create content as quickly as possible. And you monetize your rapport in this particular model. If you have a campus, people know, like, and trust you. They will either engage with you and you'll be able to help them with do-it-yourself information. But if they do want anything more, like done with you, services like the Holy Grail, coaching and consulting and mentorships and guides, those are the things that they can pay for there. So this, whole campus piece is the really, really exciting part. And I just showed you a little bit about what a campus includes. The whole goal here is to teach and to share yourself and your opinions about how things work in your particular space. So if you're interested in finding out, how can I leverage what it is that I'm interested in? How can I get out there and be involved in my community and earn some money at it and have it as an education business? These are the things you have to consider moving forward. How much time, energy, and effort do I have to do things the old way, as opposed to, can I do things that I already love and end up getting paid for it and be able to leverage all of the cool stuff that's happening with AI? So hopefully that you found this of value. Like, subscribe to the channel. I try and do 1 to 2. I was doing 1. I'm doing almost maybe 2 a day right now. And if you want to find out how I do them, if you want to find out about the campus and see how that works, just make sure to go to trainingsites.io/join. Ask me questions. And if you have something that you don't know how to do and it relates to starting, building, or growing your education business, just put a question in there and we'll figure it out. So thanks again. It's James. We'll talk to you tomorrow with another great, hopefully, tutorial to help you start, build, and grow your education business. Take care. Expect the best.